What's up, y'all? I'm Kiana.
Hey, I'm Calvin.
And this is
Iman.
Yes. Y'all, we're doing a power of series, and today's episode is called The Power of
A support system.
Yeah. Real stuff.
Yep.
What are we talking about today, y'all?
So we're going to be talking about how to pour into your support systems.
Yeah, how much weight should you put on your support systems?
And how to be real with yourself so that you can pour into your support systems. Yeah. Tune in, y'all.
Here we go. So what's going on?
What's up, y'all?
Hi.
We have a friend today.
Yeah. It's been a minute since we used our little table here.
Mhm.
Right.
We've been doing the two seats for a minute. Yeah.
Today's episode 5.
Episode 5. Support.
Yeah.
And
How'd you end up on the episode?
Because I asked to be on it.
he replied in the group chat because nobody else replied.
Nobody else wanted to be a
They
part of the episode.
ignored us,
Yeah.
as Bree said.
So how was your we always do our weekly check-in. How was your week?
My week was good, Had fun in class. Had fun with my students.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. It was an eventful week, but peaceful.
What about you, Kid?
I feel like I had a revelatory week where I got to experience what it really means to trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this happened before, but when you have those things where you're like, dang, this is a good reminder
Yeah.
to just trust in God. And so I had that moment happen this week. And then also it was the last day of dance team season. So we closed out our season. We had our banquet dinner last night, which was really cute. So we had the whole team and a lot of parents come, and we had some Mexican food.
Ooh.
Well, I had vegan Mexican, which is actually just mushrooms and rice.
Did you make it?
No.
Somebody got it for you?
Well, we went out to dinner.
Oh,
Okay.
We went out to dinner, and they had like enchiladas and beef tacos and
Yeah.
cheese quesos, everything that I can't eat.
Eat.
So I was like, what else do you have? They're like, we have this mushroom bowl. I said, okay, I'll take that. But no, this week has been good. This week has been awesome,
That's
actually.
good. That's good.
Yeah. How was this week for me? I don't know. It was kind of just a week,
Just a week?
Yeah. Didn't do much. Grocery shopping, work, hanging out, that kind of stuff. Nothing too major. So
Regular people things.
yeah. Oh, I did go see the mentee that you and I talked about.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I won't say his name, but keep him in your prayers.
Yeah.
Just trying to help him get his life back on track and do the right things. And he's interested in producing and stuff, so I'll probably bring him around this.
Yeah.
And,
Perfect.
yeah, he wants to learn about God and whatnot. So, we're going
That's
to try to
perfect.
help him out as best we can.
That's
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah. We also had a new person at our e-group this week.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
She's cool. I
Yeah.
was hoping she would come today, but we'll bring her in.
Yeah.
Guess who we do have today, guys?
Who?
We have Rebecca.
Rebecca, our e-group leader, is in the house.
She's here in real life.
Yeah. Rebecca's like the catalyst for all this. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, she started all this. And every time she's here, I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Would be no Christ culture.
Without Rebecca.
Exactly.
And she's here today.
Yep. So shout out to Rebecca. We also have Ty in the house from
Mhm.
Alfred Street Baptist Church.
Yes.
Yeah, he's visiting us today just to check out what we're doing. So just wanted to make sure we shout them out and let them
Bunch
know.
of people here
We
today.
appreciate them. Yeah.
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 Your support goes a long way.
Ooh, I see what you did there. You might as well go ahead and say the topic for the
So
day now.
today we're doing our series, right? Power of, and we're talking about the power of support systems.
Yes.
Having good people around you,
Mhm.
good fellowship,
Mm-hmm.
the right friends.
Definitely.
Keyword right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
That's what LeBron got going over.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about LeBron. Stop. First of all, I wore my Lakers hoodie today.
Okay.
I don't care that we're not in the playoffs right now. Okay.
We're saying if he had a support system.
Yeah. By the time you're watching this video, Kyrie has already joined the Lakers. Okay. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Because that's a great support system.
I'll say I don't care as well because I actually don't watch basketball playoffs.
Wow. That's great.
That's hurtful.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, where do we start? Let's start with what is a support system to you?
Yeah, let's define it.
Yeah. I'm putting Iman on the spot today. Usually I'm the one on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. What is a support system to you?
A support system to me is just people I know that have my back. People I know that say if I am a leader, right? People I know that are going to follow me through whatever that needs to happen, but also let me know about myself as well, right? Don't just lead me down a bad path. Don't be a yes man, right? Be the person I need to tell me, steer me in the right path.
Okay.
Being able to, support.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so I was doing some studying on support and system. I'm always going to look up the definitions in the Greek and the Hebrew meanings and all that good stuff. But I actually like just the regular definitions from the dictionary this week. And so I'm going to read off the two definitions. Number one, the word support actually means a thing that bears weight or something, or keeps something upright, so to speak. And then when you get into the definition of system, it says a set of things working together as parts of a mechanism. So I did my own Calvin definition and combined the two. And what I came up with was a group of weight-bearing things working together to keep something upright. I think the key word there is together. When you think about supports, you can't have multiple supports that are contradictory in nature. So think about it like, for example, if you had two people carrying a couch, they're both supports. One of them can't be 4 feet and one of them 7 feet. Number one, you're going to put too much weight on the person who's 4 feet. Number two, the thing in the middle is going to be unbalanced. Number three, the person who's taller is not going to have a good grip on the couch. So all the way across the board, if your supports aren't working together on the same accord, everything's going to be messed up top to bottom. So I think the first thing we should talk about is the importance of having supports around you that are actually working together as a mechanism, just like the definition says, and not working contradictory to one another. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the reason you're calling them your support system is because they're all trying to help you in some way, which should be the focus, right? Yeah.
I think, not to be devil's advocate, but to kind of give another side to that conversation is, they don't have to be identical. Like for me to have somebody helping me move and I have somebody who's 6 foot and somebody who's 4 foot carrying a couch, they don't have to be identical to have that same support. Whereas their support that they're giving might weigh out differently, where the 4 foot person might have to press up and the 6 foot person might have to just hold it down here, where they're still giving that same support. So that going to our group, our support system as people, where you're going to have varying opinions and stuff like that to give their input. But that also goes to show like what support can come and look like, because like you said, like, I don't want to have a group of yes men and they're just saying like, oh yeah, that's cool because they think they know what I want to hear. I'd rather somebody tell me, actually, no, I don't think that's a good idea because this could happen, and give me a different perspective. So then I'm kind of balanced. I think a support system has to have balance, where it's going to be different, but it's going to support that one idea, that one goal.
Yeah. And I think that's why I was pointing to the word together, because at the end of the day, they're trying to keep you balanced.
Right.
So they have to do whatever's necessary to keep you balanced. I think the issue comes in is when those varying opinions lean too far one way or the other, and they're forgetting what they're there to support in the first place.
Right.
So it's just very important when you're looking at your support system to make sure they have you first. They're actually trying to help you.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that like the end goal is using that togetherness to make sure that person succeeds in the task or the goal at hand.
Teamwork.
Yep.
Dreamwork.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Since we're talking about support systems, what varying factors do you consider when taking in your support system? Like, what should you be looking for to know that you have a good support system? What qualities?
Respect, number one, right? If I know you don't respect me, you're not going to be a great support system, right? Yeah. You got to respect me first and foremost. But you also have to be 100%, like, at all times, like, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, be 100%. I need that feedback, whether I like it or not. Sit me down, yo, E, no. Oh, yo, E, do more of this. Do less of that. Like, I need bluntness. I need trust, respect. I don't know. Like, I just need that person to let me know that they have my back and they know that I have their back no matter what. So you have my best interest and I have your best interest at all times. If you don't have that trust and respect factor, like, everything else doesn't really matter to me. That's just not number one. I want to know what the other values are. Until probably you guys start naming them, though.
You want us to bail you out? Is that
Go
what
ahead.
you're saying? Yeah, that's a great question. I was kind of looking in the book of Matthew when we were studying for this, and I came across a couple of things. Number one, there was a part in that chapter where Jesus literally asked the disciples, "Who do you say I am?" He was trying to hear what they thought, you know. Then there was later in the scriptures where he was literally talking to them, and they said, "What manner?" Remember they're in the boat, and he said, "What manner of man is this that he commands even the winds and the waves, and they obey him?" I say all that to say, number one, Jesus put disciples around him. Number two, those disciples followed Jesus even before they fully understood who he was. And I think when it comes to a support system, if you are going to designate somebody or individuals as your support system, they cannot be around you simply because of the resources you have, your status, because you look good, like whatever the case is, they have to be there to support you. And going back to the stuff that you were saying, it's that bluntness, it's that realness. No matter what the situation is, you can always feel their spirit when they're talking to you. Even if they're saying something you don't like to hear, you know it's coming from the heart. So sometimes you may have to question your support system, like, hey, when did my support system show up? Did they show up after I got a whole bunch of money? Did they show up after all of a sudden I blew up on Instagram? Or are they there in the beginning? And it doesn't have to be that they were there in the beginning. They can come later, but what's their heart like? What's their intent like behind actually supporting you? Are they there for something, or are they actually there because they care about you?
Yeah, I think that's valid. You know, we can even look at the Bible and see like how God loves, or how Jesus loves, even, where everything, he's very unconditional with how he treats people, and how he loves his people. You know, how he's gentle, he's kind, he's meek, and he's considerate, and all these things. And that goes to show like how we can be an example to our people that we're supporting, and then also what we can expect from the people that we want to support us. But to me, I feel like a support system is somebody, not even just somebody. Like, I feel like a support system is a group, like an ecosystem almost, where I don't just have one best friend. I have a group of friends, and then I have my family, and then I have like my close family. You know, I have a community. And within all these different variety of personalities, how that support comes through, we also tie into what our love languages are. You know, not just in a relationship or like a personal exclusive like friendship or anything like that, but like as a unit, I need to understand how this person understands love, because that's going to be our way of communication. You know, I think loyalty, communication, bluntness, like you said, and then also that rawness. Like, you need to be a ride or die, that no matter what I'm going through, no matter how ugly it gets, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard it gets, I'm going to be there for you. You're going to be there for me. And I'm going to help you work through things. Not just because, you know, we can grow together, or I've seen you come from 0 to 100, you know, like, but because I love you unconditionally. There's nothing that could tear us apart. And that's where we see Jesus loving, you know?
Jesus, his love is just it's so far above anything we could, you know, comprehend in our minds. And that's why I love reading the Bible and the stories about him. I have a question for you too. How much weight does your support system bear?
As much as I give it. I think that question comes internally first before it can come out. So my support system, I know that they're capable of holding like a lot of my weight if I need to, but it's like I don't always give it out. Not because I can't trust it in them, but that's just something that I'm personally working through myself. It's just being that vulnerable. Like, we talked about vulnerability a lot on the show, but that question just sparks that, where it's like, they can handle a lot. I know they can, because I've been through some stuff, and they always be like, well, you got to do this. I'm going to take you in. I don't care what you say. I'm going to support you, you know? And then I'm like, whoa, you know? And they kind of almost have to do this sometimes. It's like, okay, what else is it? Let's get it out. And I'm like, but, you know? So it's a lot of weight, but as much as I can give it out.
I wouldn't say a lot, just because I'm so prideful about things, right? And I've been learning, you know, since COVID happened, I've been learning to be more vulnerable and just letting some of that weight go onto my support system. But it's like I don't ever want to have to like, so like you said, it's an ecosystem type of thing, right? I have my parents, right? Spiritual grandparents, like that's my spiritual aspect. That's my spiritual support. Then I have my friends. That's my like emotional constancy support right there, right? It's like I can have a situation going on with me, and instead of letting them know right away, I won't let them know till I have like solutions, right? Instead of letting them help me find solutions, I won't let them know until I have solutions. That way, they'll be like, okay, yeah, well, this solution is smart. I say, okay, thank you. I thought about it already. I don't even need your help anymore, right? I'll go get it done myself.
Wow.
And sometimes it gets to the point where I have those solutions, then I don't, and I still don't tell them. Now it's weighing on me. Now it's weighing on me, and it just spills over to the point where like Cal will be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'll be like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
And I'll be in tears because I really don't know. And I think that's something that I need to work on, right? That's the reason why a support system is there, right? To take some of that weight off of you. But it's just a lot of pride. Right?
And they know you too. For somebody to know you in your face and be like, that's not the true you right now. What do we need to unbury together? And how can I help you do that? You know?
Like if I'm not goofy and smiling, everybody's just like, what's wrong? But I feel like it's like, don't ask me what's wrong because it's just going to make it much worse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to smile. Like it's hard to smile through the pain when I'm already like really feeling it.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm about to explode. But then after that, I feel guilty because it's like, I know you have your own problems. Like, I don't want to put that on you, but like, I have to understand that it's okay. That's the reason for support system. Like, it really does take a village.
Absolutely.
And if you don't let the village take some of your problems off your back and you do it all your own, you're going to kill yourself. Like, you're really going to drain yourself. So I got to work on that.
Yeah.
But right now, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think that even goes into leadership too, because I think part of being a good leader is being able to designate things, not so you don't have to do work, but you have to let others around you carry some of that weight, especially if your vision is big. You can't carry those visions by yourself. Yeah, I've talked about this a million times, but I'll keep talking about it. I dealt with so much pride in the past, and I am still constantly learning how to depend on those around me, especially my family and loved ones. Like they're always just telling me, like, what's wrong? How can we help? What can we do for you? I'm like, nothing. I got it. Like, even with stuff like cleaning the house, I'm like, no, I'll clean it. They're like, we can clean for you.
Yeah.
We can do something for you. Like, you don't
never
have
lets
to
us wash the dishes.
Yeah, like that's going to be a work in progress. I'm just going to always have to kind of work through that. Yeah. So I was thinking about, you got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had a therapist once because I was working through this at the same time. And she was saying, how do you feel like you're overwhelmed with your emotions sometimes? And I said, yes, I do. And she said, well, who do you go to tell when you're feeling overwhelmed to help you break down your emotions with you? And I was like,
food?
Well, no one, like I would just like, I would be like, well, nobody, because I feel like I can handle it myself. I can figure it out. Well, she's like, well, the people around you. Oh, and also I felt like a lot of people could come to me with their problems. And I was always the one to give out advice and stuff like that. But when it came to me, I was like, there's nobody I can go to that I can spill this out to. And she's like, well, how do you know that? She's like, have you tried? And like, did they shut you down when you tried? I said, well, no. She's like, those same people that come to you are waiting for you to have that moment with them. And they can't give you anything if you don't give it to them. So that helped me be like, okay, my brother, like, can you help me right quick? Because I'm stressed with this and I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
So it's that humility to just be like, I can't do this on my own.
Yeah.
Even if you can.
But then it's also like I'll have those moments, right? Because I'm the one that like everybody like usually always comes to. But I have those moments and I'm just like, yeah, but your problem is serious. Mine's not. Like, so it's like I'll downplay it. And they'll be like, you help me get through my issue, right? And if you think it was that big, then we can solve your little problem. But it's just like, nah, you got a serious problem. Let's focus on yours. Mine can wait.
But why do even little problems not have validity to them? Like, why does it take any value out of them for having little problems?
It goes back to that guilt thing. It's like I love helping, but I don't love putting pain.
I want to be a burden.
Exactly. I don't like putting burden on anybody else, right? I don't care if you put the burden on me. I'm gonna help you fix it. Like we'll get this burden knocked out the way. But if I put it back on you, or if I just put it on you, like it's like, I shouldn't do that.
That's big. I one of the things that gets to me the most is having to watch people I love struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather it be me.
Yeah.
I'd rather just deal with it myself than have to watch you go through that.
Yeah.
So that's a big part. But while you were talking, something else just came to me, and I had never thought about it before. I think a big part of why I was always so prideful and wanted to do everything myself is because I felt like if I came to somebody else for help, they would see me as weak. And that just clicked in my head when you were talking.
Right.
Let's stay here for a second. Let's unpack this for a minute, because that's a big one. That is a big one.
And I don't know if that comes from, I don't want to like make it a gender thing, but I don't know if that's part of me as a man that doesn't want that, or what exactly that is. But I think I don't want other people to see me as weak. And I felt like if I came to you for help, what I was really saying to you was, I'm too weak to do it myself.
And I think that just comes back to like social constructs, honestly, right? Like everything we've heard in the world is like a real man can fix his own problems. A real man can solve his own problems. So I'm like, I want to be a real man. So I'm gonna fix my own problem. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. I got it. But it's like growing up, now I see that like real leaders had support systems, whether you like it or not. Like real successful leaders had their own support systems. Leaders that didn't have support systems, their success crumbled, and failed, right? Yeah. So it's just that doing what everybody else wants to do, right? Like, oh, he fixes his own problems. He looks like a real man. Like I want to do that too. So I'm fixing my own problems. Like I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon instead of like actually realizing, no, like you need that help. Yeah. Right. Like I think like we talked about it in season 1, right? Like reach out for help. It's okay to ask for help. Yeah. Go back to season 1, watch that.
I have a question for you guys. / prompt. Okay. So imagine your younger self. I would say 10 years old or younger. And you want to cry. That little boy or girl wants to cry. How do you tell them, and how do you like teach them to be okay with their vulnerability? Especially as young Black boys. Yeah. Right? Like how, if they're crying, how do you help them through that? Are you just like, stop crying, be a man, like toughen up? Or like, how do you, I'm asking y'all.
This can turn into a real therapy session real quick. Yeah. So I'll just talk about myself personally. I think a lot of it was, and I won't get going too in depth, but my father's background put him in a position where he had to carry weight like that before he should have had to. And it made him in a way that he was like Superman, basically. He just do everything. He was a police officer. He was a pastor. He was going to take care of everything. He was going to take care of the family. You know, everything was taken care of by dad. And I think watching that at those younger ages kind of turned me into the same thing. Like, I just fell down, scraped my knee, and I'm bleeding, but dad wouldn't cry, so I can't. You know what I mean? Yeah. If dad was in this situation, he could get himself out of it, so I can't. I don't need to go tell anybody else. And I think it took me getting to an age as a man where I could see my father's humanity, that he wasn't superhuman. Yeah. You know, seeing my father cry, and I applaud him for even tapping more into his own vulnerability nowadays. And a lot of it is because of what we're doing, and he sees me, which is amazing. So, but yeah, I think just seeing him in that position growing up kind of made me feel like I had to be the same way. And I think for every kid, whether it's the mother or their father, they're like superheroes to you growing up. Yeah. They can't get hurt. They can't do anything. They get sick. You're like, oh, they'll be better in a minute. Like, and it takes you getting to an age where you can actually see their humanity before that kind of starts to flip in your mind. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I agree. Like going back to like just seeing my pops, right? Like, I'm African, so right. I'm gonna break this down, right? It's like always like that moment where like I never ever really until like I was 18, or probably no, yeah, 18, 17. Whenever I was in the hospital, remember
17.
when I was born, when that 17, right? So I have never seen my pops cry, like anything. Like his dad died, like I never seen him cry. And it was like also like if I would be crying, he was like, "What are you crying for?"
Mm.
Like we have a solution. Like let's fix the solution. You're wasting your time crying. You're gonna get sick by crying. Let's move on to the next thing and let's like fix this. It wasn't like there was no room or space for crying. So it was like, you're right. And I've never seen you cry, right?
Yeah.
And my dad, I always thought my dad, like you said, superhero, like he's a real man's man. I want to be like that. So like, why waste my time crying? Let me find a solution to what I'm sad about. Let me find a solution to that. Like, let me find a way to get happy. I think that's where all my goofiness and everything came from, because like I wouldn't stay sad for too long. I would try to bring the goofiness or something out of me to make me smile and forget about whatever pain that I'm dealing with. But it wasn't until my dad saw his son probably in a deathbed, right?
Yeah.
That I saw tears come out of his eyes. And I was like, hey man, you cried? Like I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about what's going on in my body. I'm like, tears are coming out your eyes. Like there's water coming from your face.
Wow.
I didn't even know that happened. And he was like laughing, but like kind of just like the conversation we had, like in total, was trying to get me to quit football because he doesn't want to see his son to die and everything. But it was just like, dang, okay, you do experience pain. It's okay to cry, right?
Yeah.
And like after that, like I started to see him become more vulnerable and everything. Like with financial situation and everything, like coming to me, having like a moment, like just having a moment where we cry and just let things hash out. But it was like he was holding everything in to be a protector and a savior and a man in my eyes.
Yeah.
Right? And he didn't need to be that. So like he was probably crying behind closed doors, but in front of me, he would never let me see that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the persona I brought on myself as well. I will not let everybody that sees me as Iman, like a protector, like a strong person.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I had a story I was going to tell, but I'm going to forego that because I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Knowing that now, when you have children, how will you act differently?
Yeah.
So after that moment, I was just like, okay, I do want to be more vulnerable, right? But I also like that lesson of crying is wasting time. Because have your tears, shed your tears, but while you're shedding your tears, find a solution while you're shedding your tears. Like let that emotion go, let it like drain out of you, but like try to find that solution while you're shedding your tears. It's okay to shed tears. It's okay to feel what you are feeling, but what's next? You can't stay here forever. So I like that aspect, that lesson that my dad taught me. I like that aspect. I just would encourage to let go of the feelings. Like let your tears go. Yeah. Don't do it for too long, right? Yeah. Don't cry for an hour, 2 hours. Like, some people just they cry. It'd be like days. They're still crying, right? No. Try to find happiness somehow. So I would be vulnerable with my kids and let them know, like, look, feel what you are feeling. Let's cry it out. I'll cry with you. All right, now what's next?
Wow.
I think to piggyback off of that, finding a solution, like telling a kid that's probably a big word where they're like, what is solution? What is resolve? Like, what does that mean? And it comes down to like, how do you fix? How do you change? What's going to be different? Like you said, what's next?
What's going to make you smile again?
And I think for that, even going off of what you said, where you're like, even you too, where you're like, I find my solution in my own self, in my own head. And that's kind of where we get trapped and feel overwhelmed. And that doesn't actually always solve our problem. If anything, it makes us feel heavier. Yep. So how to find a solution is going to be knowing who to go to. How do I collaborate? Who do I know that I can trust, that I can lean on to help me find a solution so I don't have to do it alone? Yeah. And it's not even like I'm giving them the free will to just solve my problem for me, because I think that's where that stigma comes from is if I ask for help, I'm giving that person my responsibility to figure it out. And that's not always the case. Yeah. When you're going to somebody else in your support system, it's kind of just, okay, let me find somebody who can bounce an idea with me.
Two minds work better than one.
2 minds, yeah. It's not, you figure this out for me because I'm stressed, because that's weakness. I think that's not the right way to go. But where it's like, I just need somebody to listen. I need somebody to like maybe give me some advice because I need to figure out which direction I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like just being able to sit down, like, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's bothering me. Let's work.
Yeah, because that whole thing of trying to figure it out by yourself internally is a trick of the enemy, right? He wants to isolate you.
Yeah.
So you ever see those nature documentaries where
here we go again.
The wolf's like chasing a whole flock of animals, and he literally waits until one of them falls behind the other ones. They want to isolate you because it's easier for them to attack you that way.
Yeah.
So, like you said, find those people who you can go to, and not even necessarily people all the time. Things you can go to. Not turning towards those vices, but turning towards those things that can help you, that can act as outlets. That might be something as simple as your journaling, like you talk about all the time. You know what I mean? So just find what you can turn to.
And I want to say, now that we're talking about turning to something, we were actually talking about this in e-group earlier this week, but Rebecca was saying one of her most influential persons was would ask this question if somebody came to her for advice. She would say, but did you go to God first? And I love that. Like when she said that, I was like, can I take that? But also, how do I apply that to my life? Because we're so quick to be like, I can't figure it out. Let me go to this person then, since I'm at rock bottom and can't figure it out. They're not giving me the right answer that I want to hear right now. Even if it is valid, I still don't want to hear that. And then you go to God last. That's still backwards. We need to go to God first before we even try to figure it out ourselves.
Like so he can open those doors of opportunities to find that solution. Yeah. I think a lot of people, like I know I do it, like I make God my last resort, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be him first, and then he'll open the doors and he'll put the right people in front of me that can help me find out what I need to do to better this situation. But I always wait till his last, and he's just like, I know, but you could have called me like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah. I want to get into one other aspect of the support systems.
Yeah.
So, I'm always going to give you an analogy. That's how I think. So, back when I used to work in construction, you ever built a wall before or seen a wall being built?
I have not.
You have? So literally it's just a bunch of studs, wood pieces going straight up in
pillars.
The air. Yep. Inside the wall. Then they put drywall on top of it. But sometimes when we would go in to renovate a house, we would open up a wall and some of the individual studs would be rotten in the wall. And what that does is it causes the weight to not be evenly distributed. So some of the studs are holding more weight than other ones. And the way to fix that, obviously, is to take out the ones that are rotten and put new ones in so that it's correct. So I want to talk about when it comes to a support system, just like those studs in the wall, sometimes you have to perform maintenance on your support system. It's called reciprocity. So it goes both ways. So although they're keeping you upright, you also have to return something to them. So even something as practical as like your legs on your body, right? Your legs keep you upright, but you don't just do nothing and your legs just keep you upright. You have to eat food, give your body fuel. You have to walk around. You have to exercise to keep your legs strong, and then they keep you upright. So sometimes it goes, not sometimes, all the times it goes both ways. So what are ways that you can also pour into your support system as they pour into you?
Check-ins. Like it doesn't have to be super complicated. Like I have best friends from my childhood that we're still really really tight. And we can go months without talking. And when we check in, it's like, hey girl, I'm just checking in to see how you're doing. Like, is everything good? Let's do a FaceTime call. We'll spend hours on the phone doing a FaceTime chat. And then it's like another 3 months before we talk again. Like I think because we knew each other in those places in our lives and we know that we're always evolving and we're always changing, we don't get our feelings hurt if us like, well, you didn't text me today. What's wrong? Did I do something? Like we're not there anymore. We're not in that mentality. But to do that maintenance it could just be, hey, I'm just thinking of you. And that could be the text. It doesn't have to be complicated. I think we make things so much more complicated.
Yeah, because then when you do go to them and you need them, They're not like, oh, they only come to me when they want something.
Yeah.
Like, no, they check in with me all the time.
Right.
They make sure I'm good too. So let me help them.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I piggyback off of that. Like, check-ins are very important, right? To make sure we stay in a mutual stance. Like, I'm a people person when we're together, but when I'm at work or I'm just at home doing, y'all see, I don't answer the group chat. When we get here, I always have something to talk about, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't answer the group chat. Like, it's not me. I'll check in. I'll give you a phone call. We have a conversation and everything. But it's like just being able to have that understanding that I may not always be there, but I'm there when you need me.
Yep.
Is solid in the support system. Like, I may not always be there. Like, we may not talk every single day. I'll check in here and there.
Yeah.
But just know I'm always here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I don't want you to text me every day.
Yeah.
That's just not me. I like, leave me alone.
And we can directly attest to that, me and E, because when he went off to college, there was a period of about 2 years where him and I barely spoke.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like, so, and it's not like I wasn't checking up on him, right? Because Cal's not on social media, not on anything, right? So I'd ask our friends around, like, is Cal doing all right? But like, I was so busy with playing football, trying to maintain my 4.0 GPA, joining all these like activities and fraternity and all that. I was like so overwhelmed. But I was just like, when as soon as I get home, the first person I called was Cal.
Yep.
The first person I called was Cal. But when I was away at school, it was just like, here, I'm focusing on this. But as soon as I get home, that's my ride or die. I'm going to go make sure he's good, right? Yeah. And it's like, we pick back off where we left.
Yeah. And I think the important aspect of that is that the time we put in together, even during that time, there was never a question in my mind. If I called Iman, he would be there for me, regardless of what the situation was.
Get on the first Greyhound bus from Richmond.
Yeah, and I think that takes time, and that takes those individuals being there with you through tough times. Like a tough time has to come up so you can actually see that they're going to support you in a tough time. So it just takes time. Yeah.
And that relationship too is something that you develop. You know, like you were saying, don't just call them when you need something.
Yeah.
So you have to do that maintenance in between, because I think sometimes that's where that burden comes from. Where I feel like sometimes if I'm only calling you when I need you, then why would you pick up? Because if I felt that way, would I still pick up? You know, like, I mean, it depends on the relationship. If that's my girl and I just like, hey, I went through this, I need you. I went through this, I need you. I went through this, I need you, without checking up.
Yeah.
It becomes worrisome.
Yeah. It becomes worrisome. And then it's also like, am I being considerate of them to just give them my burden without checking in on them first? You know? So I think when it comes to that maintenance, it's not just, hey, how are you doing? But it's also, let me make sure I'm pouring into them before I need to get poured into.
Yeah, like definitely. Like, I mean, so before I moved here, right, Cal, we had a situation, right? Very close friend and everything. And it just felt like a lot of the things were one-sided with this friend, right? Like, I'm always there when you need me, anything. Like, we would hang out and stuff like that, but it was just like, it's just constant, always like, you call me when you're in distress. And I'm just like, okay, this is tiring.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing Dr. Phil and Savior every encounter. Even when we hang out, I'm playing Dr. Phil. So it's like, you only wanted to hang out with me because you wanted me to
free therapy sessions.
Right? And I'm just like, yo, I'm going to start charging you now. Right. Like it got less and less. So then it got to the point where, okay, I'm always checking up. Let me check up less.
See if they check in first. See if they notice my absence.
Then it started getting less and less. Then when everybody, I don't really care about my birthday. I just started now, right? Because I've been getting old. I don't care about my birthday. I never have. African family. Like, if my dad remembers my birthday, that's all I need. That's the birthday gift that I need. But it got to the point where, if we've been friends for so long, I don't care about my birthday. You forgot my birthday? Yeah, nah, that was it. That was the last straw for me. Like, I stopped checking in. Boom. Then you forgot about my birthday. Boom. Then it was like, oh, like we'll hang out for the birthday and everything. I was okay. I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm not gonna check in now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm gonna hold you to it. We're gonna hang out. Never say anything. Months go by, fell off the face of the earth. I'm just like, God removed that for me.
Yeah.
God removed that for me because I was giving in like so much. I'm the one checking in, and then it was like sometimes like, do I really want to check in because I know the weight that I'm about to bear?
Mm-hmm.
It's about to be too much.
It's almost like self-sabotage,
right? So it was like I'm a step back, like people always say, like I'm gonna just step back, and then like my eyes started opening to the.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it really. Then it became wild. And I was like, all right, but that's not a reason to like even like people are busy in the world. But then for so long, you forgot my birthday. Like, come on now. Like I'm like the happy birthday to me is all I need. I don't like gifts. I don't like presents.
HBD. All you care.
Even a HBD. You like even a HBD, a happy birthday, happy born day, whatever, a text, a call.
Let me know that you know I still
even happy belated.
Even call me on the next day, happy belated. Because my parents do that. They mix. My dad does it all the time because my brother is born on the 22nd of May and I'm born on the 21st of February. So he would call on February and call my brother on May 21st. So he does that all the time. So it's like even a belated is fine. Mm-hmm. Now I'm waiting to Calvin's birthday. Right?
Coming up.
Right? I'm waiting to Calvin's birthday and still no call. So I called Calvin and I was like, did this so-and-so text you happy birthday? Blah, blah, blah. And I think she did that week. Mm-hmm. And I was livid.
He was done after that.
I was livid.
Like, now it's personal.
Like, yeah. I was like, I'm not saying Calvin hasn't been there, but I met you first. So I was like, wow, like everything like you poured into me, like I'm just like, this hurts.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is God showing me like, this is not the person I need in my life. Like, all you did was put stress on my back and never took stress off.
And it goes back to that reciprocity. You were pouring out, but getting nothing poured into you. It's a battle of attrition. Eventually, you're just going to run out of gas.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that person never did a nice thing for me. They did, but it wasn't even. Yeah. I'm not. It wasn't.
And I think it's important to say that in some seasons, it won't be even.
Yeah.
Some seasons, people need you more than others, but over a length of time, if it's like that, that's a problem.
The entire time,
Like I'm playing the game and it's 100-0 or 100-2. Like that's a problem. Like quit the game. Please quit the game.
Who's keeping score though? Right? I don't play. So this is the other thing I want to ask you guys about. How has, and I hope this is not the audience question for questions today, but how has e-group and Christ culture added to your support system? Or has it?
How has fellowship is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because that's what this has been for me. And I've never actually had fellowship. In a sense where it's Christ-centered. Okay. I've had friends, but I've never had fellowship in person where I'm actually connecting and like verbalizing what I'm learning in Christ. It's affected me in a lot of ways. As one, it holds me accountable because I am never not going to show up, you know? Yeah. Not that I don't show up for other things, but it holds this responsibility to me where I'm like, I don't want to, one, as Christ culture, I'm not going to just not show up because I'm co-host. Where you go? I mean, you can hold the show down if you want to, but like, I'm never not going to show up. And even with e-group, I had that same feeling to myself even where I'm like, I'm backing out of what God is trying to do in my life for not showing up for what convenience. Yeah. You know, I think I've missed only one because I was dead tired. That was the week I was waking up at like 4:30 in the morning. Okay. So I feel your pain.
I did the same thing a couple months later.
I was like, y'all, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to crash on the freeway. I should stay home. But no, it's definitely showed me what godly people can look like. Not even look like, but just how much variety that we have in our experiences and our beliefs and our thought processes. And it balances me. And I think it also refines me because where before, even during the pandemic, I was pretty much the only Christian in my house. Not that they're like atheists or anything. They believe there's a God, but I'm the only devout Christian in the house. And that's kind of isolating too, because I'm like, okay, look at this in the scripture. Like, that's fire. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Give me something.
You don't see this?
Right. Like,
gold.
Dope. And so now that I'm able to have friends to bounce that off and we have that thing in common, rather than like it just being about goals. Like, I have friends that we just talk about goals. And then that kind of, for me, what I've learned turns into like, what are the things that I can do to make things happen, rather than how can I trust in God on top of the things that I'm doing that make things happen, So it's given me a lot of different perspective and made me feel more whole, in a sense that it's not just me and God's body. I actually have arms now. I have legs. I have fingers. I have everything. I have joints now, which is something I've never had, but I love it. Love it.
I'm a perspective guy, right? Like, since you know me, like, I always love different perspectives. So I feel like Christ culture has really helped me gain different perspectives in my walk, in my journey, to gain a closer relationship with God, right? There's some of the things that like I'm just sitting back there and I'm listening. I'm just like, I'm gonna try this because I don't, right? And it's just like, one, it's opening up. I'm being more vulnerable. I'm being more transparent. And it's also bringing my creativity within our work, right? And being able to know that we're in it for one thing, right? And it's reaching the masses. And knowing that I'm not doing it alone, it's just like, it's fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not be happy? How could you not learn from this? How could you not soak it all in?
Yeah. And
like want to keep on doing it. Like, this is something I can never get tired of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even playing football, at one point I was just like,
we were both though. We were like,
hang up the cleats. My head hurts. I love football. I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
But this, how could you want to stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing that will make me want to stop this. In fact, where you think about branching off and doing other things under this. And it's like stuff that we dreamt about since we were younger. And now it's coming into fruition. Why would I ever want to stop this?
Yeah.
Right? Why would I ever want to stop something that's feeding? What's the power of
my spirit? My spirit.
Not my spirit. It's feeding my soul. Right? Like, it's feeding it. And it's just, I want others to watch this, be a part of this community, and have their souls fed as well.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
I would say back to you. Oh, asking the same question to you.
Yeah, I was gonna answer it real quick. I'll just say that before like Christ culture, before E-group, I used to always envy some of my friends because all of my other friends, like, they had their groups, right? One group of my friends, they love to play video games. I despise video games. I have no attention span.
Me neither.
Some of my friends do some other stuff like smoke or whatever the case is. And I just never felt like I had my group.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't fit in there. And I found myself over time doing things to try to fit in with one of those groups. But it was never me. I was never fulfilled. I never wanted to. So when I started to go through my own journey and going through a lot of what you were going through, like, I'm reading the Bible, I'm listening to the sermons, I'm in my apartment going crazy. I'm like, this is why, like, nobody sees this.
Right.
Why is everybody not going crazy? And, I found fellowship with my mother and my father, but they've already gone through this journey. Not that they're finished, but they've already gone through this stage that I'm in. So for them, it's like, yeah, we're happy for you. Been there, done that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I went to E-group, it was like we all opened our Bibles and we started talking, and I'm watching your eyes light up, just like my eyes light up. I'm like, oh, there's something going on here. I like this. So it just kind of helped me to find my community, my place. Yeah. You know what I mean? The place where I felt like, oh, this is where you fit. This is where you belong. This is your place.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
If it wasn't for school, I'd be going to E-group, guys. That's why I haven't talked about E-group.
There's an E-group for everybody at any
school.
time of the day. So I'll just plug that in there too.
Yeah. I'm in law school. Yeah.
We can FaceTime you in the E-group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm in
we can record it, send you the...
For any of my law school Christians, you know how hard it is.
I was gonna piggyback off of my idea of holding myself accountable, where that responsibility comes from, because I feel like even like you said, doing this podcast as a group, I feel like if I started this podcast on my own, like I had like in the e group when Rebecca was like, "What's something that you're resisting?" And if I was like, "I want to start a podcast," and I did it in my living room on my own, I don't believe that it would last this long. I would be like, oh, I don't feel like it. And that inconvenience, I would probably just be like, well, I don't have to really do this Sunday. The fans won't really like tell.
You don't think it would have been a season 2, episode 6?
I don't know. It's just the accountability of having a group. Oh, the accountability, check. The accountability of having a group just makes you not want to not be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is something else. This is something else. Like, maybe I could have like done it myself, but I wouldn't feel the same pull to like have a group and not just let myself down, but now I'm letting other people down. And it's not even about being let down, but we're being lifted up. Anytime we come in here, these conversations bless me.
Definitely.
You know, not even us when we're recording, but like our encounters as a group, they bless me, and it like starts my week out. You know?
You know what I just thought about? Back to that definition that a system is things working together to keep something upright. That's the thing we're keeping upright. Yeah. So all of us are a part of the Christ culture support system. Yeah. So I think that's part of what you're feeling is like, I can't be gone because I'm part of that thing that helps hold it up.
And it's not just the brand of a podcast. Yeah. You know, it's all the people that are listening. And it's, you know, even if it's only 5 people or 5,000, 100 million.
For sure.
Inside joke.
Millie?
Millie? That well? Anyways. We have a different responsibility now.
Absolutely.
You know, even in biblical terms, it's like he who has a big purpose comes with also big responsibilities. Yeah. And we've signed up for this at this point. Yeah. So if I back down, if I'm like, Sunday, I'm kind of tired, I'm backing out of God's promise. You know, this isn't about me. Yeah. This isn't about just us here in this room right now.
Not at all.
So yeah, it's that. So I was saying it to Tay yesterday. I was like, it's the accountability of consistency. And what I mean by that is like, I started shaping. I'm like, look, I wasn't present last episode when we shot, right? And the reason why is because I was so engulfed with work and my homework. So I was like, I'm gonna just drop something that takes up my time of not finishing my homework, and I'm gonna just get my homework done on time. So Saturday, I usually binge watch something. Like, I relax because I've been stressed from work, I've been stressed from homework, reading all those case files. Right? So I just I was just like, you know what? Let me get that done. Right? And I'll probably still have that free time to relax and chill, get on the game. Yeah. Right? Because he's a hater. All right. Get on the game and everything.
I don't like video games.
But I want to be present. I want to be present in everything that we do. I was present. I was still talking, but I was just like, I'm not holding my part up. Right? I felt like I was like doing this. Yeah. While working. When I should have been full. Yeah. Right? So I reevaluated what I needed to do to make sure that I was 100% here. Yeah. Because I want to be 200% here at all times, right? Our days, on Sundays we podcast.
On Sundays we podcast.
That was the name of the episode of the vlog today, by the way.
Was it really?
Yes. Sundays we podcast, right? So it's like, whatever I need to do to make sure I'm 100% in where I'm at, like I need to get that knocked out the way first. Yeah. And I also feel like relief because I'm here, I'm present, we're doing our thing, right? Yeah. I hope I get invited again. What I'm doing,
you can stay.
We're doing our thing, and I know that after we do our thing, we can focus on whatever we need to do to promote this podcast, whatever we need to do, and I'm not stuck on, oh yeah, this assignment is due and I haven't done it yet. Yeah, I need to hurry up and go home. I can't even stay. Yeah. Right, like I'm 100% here today. It feels good. The weight is lifted off my shoulders. Yeah, I'm supporting y'all.
And God sees the part you're playing, and He'll take care of all the rest like He always does.
One piggyback. You said posturing yourself so that you can be 100% ready to be a pillar. What is it called? The things in the wall.
Stud.
Oh, a stud. So you can be a stud in the support system, right? That's a practical of how we can be support systems when we're needed. It's not, okay, somebody's telling me their life story because I need help, and I'm over here like texting. It's like, yeah, I hear you though. Yeah, but I hear you. No, I'm listening, right? That's not 100%. Yeah. And even with God, it's the same thing. If He's our number one support system, I'm not gonna be like, God, I need help on this, but I'm like doing something else right now. I'm multitasking. Don't multitask with your support system, because it's not gonna stay up. It's not. You know,
sit down, be 100% fully in the moment,
and that's not 100% of the time. You know, your support, like a beam in the wall. What's it called? A stud. A stud is not the entire wall. Yeah. It's just a part of the system that keeps it up. So you don't need to be 100% of the time.
Absolutely.
Just be there 100% when that person needs you, when you need that person, and when you're spending time with God.
Well said. Well said. How y'all feeling about this conversation?
It's dope.
Great about it, man.
I feel filled up. I feel filled up.
Like, we want y'all to be filled up, whether you're in Canada, Zimbabwe,
I'm on Canada.
Virginia.
Let's go to Toronto. Anyways,
it's cold.
Speaking of y'all being filled up, do we have any questions from our audience today?
This is part of our podcast.
This section of our podcast is called Questions from the Audience, where you guys ask us questions and we answer them to keep y'all fulfilled.
Let's see if we have any questions today.
Who's this question from today, Bree?
The mic's not on.
Okay. Yeah. This is every week.
Yeah. We'll get it right one of these weeks. Nothing.
You just have to say a bar, and that's how you see if the mic works. So give us a bar, a little rhyme.
Is the light on that thing?
Keep going.
Bars.
It should be. It was on the charger all morning. Okay. It's not coming on? Must be dead. Okay.
There's a light on it. Turn it, rotate it.
Just ask the question and we'll repeat it.
Yeah.
It is? It's not? Okay.
Or can you come stand here so it's a little closer? Put those like little bars in when he's like, beep. That's better.
No, you don't even use that.
So first question is from Bree X JP. Okay. You talked about your support system being a community. How do you find balance in your support system?
How do you find balance in your support system?
So I kind of like discussed a little bit, like after you talked about the ecosystem thing, like I have my breakdown. Like I know my spiritual side, I know my emotional constancy side, I know my side where I just need to relax and I need you to support me in that relaxation. I think it goes back to the reciprocity thing, right? Where you have to maintain it, right? You have to like pour into it and just figure out what needs to stay and what needs to go. Being able to understand what needs to stay will keep you on the right track, and what needs to go to help you make sure like there's nothing in there tampering with what you already have. If you have that mindset and if you are constantly checking in, you'll be a well-oiled machine.
Cool. I would say learning how to divide it, not even divide, but like how you compartmentalize it and where you need to set boundaries. Because like even how Cal was saying, you have friends that smoke, you have friends that play games, you have friends that like you can speak about goals with, and then you have like your fellowship group. So it's like, if I'm trying to just relax and like go, maybe I'll go play with my video game playing friends. I don't have video game playing friends, but it's an example, right? Yeah. I mean, I'll come over and play a little basketball game.
Come on now, it's 2K.
I press buttons. But I'm just saying, like, learning which group you can go to for certain things is going to be super crucial to your ecosystem of a support system. Yeah. Because not everybody can give you the same things. And you can't go to one group expecting. I can't go to my smoking friends asking for like spiritual enlightenment. I mean, they'll give me a different type of spiritual enlightenment, but I don't want that type of advice.
But then you got people like me who are allergic to that spiritual enlightenment.
You know what I mean?
Can't.
It's not gonna work. So
finding balance in my support system. That's a good one. Going back to my stud in the wall analogy. So you actually
let's stick in the wall.
You actually only put so many studs depending on the distance. So when you're finding balance, I guess you kind of have to know how much support do I need for this distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the issue you're facing or whatever you're going through and say, what supports and how many supports do I need here?
Yeah.
You don't need 20 studs in a 5-foot wall. It's overkill. It's way too much. So that's why you measure the distance and you only put a certain amount in. So just, I would say, analysis on the situation and knowing who and how many and
that's good
to apply.
That's good. Yeah. That's a good point.
Forget all of that. Did you check in with God first?
Right.
Bars. That part.
I think that's TikTok.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Okay. So what would be a practical first step you take to let your guard down and let your support system help you?
Ooh, how do you let your guard down for your support system?
That one hit my soul.
Right.
Be real with yourself first to understand why you're guarded. You need to be humble with yourself to say, I feel overwhelmed because this situation is testing my comfortability right now. And I don't like that because now I feel like I'm out of control and I feel unsafe.
Yeah.
And for me to say that and acknowledge it in my own self, I can then go to somebody else and be like, I think I feel unsafe about this situation and I need your help to like figure out why I feel unsafe. Where does this go back to? So even like setting those boundaries, I could go to my support system and be like, can you just bounce some ideas off of me and like just ask me questions? Like, don't give me advice. I want you to just ask questions when I tell you stuff, and like finding out what the root is, and that helps. But going to God first, go to yourself, and then go to your buddies.
Did you go to God first?
There we go.
Say that one more time for me, Bree.
Repeat the question.
What would be a practical first step you take to let your guard down and let your support system help you?
I would say a practical first step is a very hard question. Ask yourself, is what you are doing, if that's working? So you're trying to handle it all yourself. Ask yourself, is that actually working for me? And if it's not, then you have to do something different. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So if that's not working, what else can you do? You can try to get some help from somebody else. Yeah.
I think, right, doing that as well, but also like just practicing how you want to address your support system. So what I mean by that is like, don't go in there like, just panicking and just saying a bunch of words, and then they say, oh, you're just overreacting, right? And now you're upset because you don't think you're overreacting. Go in there with a plan. Look, this is bothering me. I just need you to listen to me first, right? I just need you to listen to me. I might be overreacting, but this is really important to me, right? Just having a plan and a step of what you're going to say to your support system, I think just knocks down all the worries, the pride, whatever that you may have about it. Like, I just think it's something that I need to do more. That's why I'm saying this, right? Just, I don't want people to think that I'm overreacting. Because once they say that, oh, you're overreacting, now I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Because dang, maybe I am overreacting, right? So just sitting there and just saying, look, I might be overreacting. I might not be overreacting. I just need you to listen to me so we can get this issue resolved.
Speaking of practicing, do y'all ever, drive in the silence, drive it
All the time.
Do you ever practice conversations?
Yep.
In your head? Or like, not even in your head, but out loud? You're literally speaking in the car? I like doing that.
I was in here practicing this conversation before all y'all showed
Really?
up. Yeah. Just sitting in the chair out loud.
It sounds crazy, right? But then I'm like, I get it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes after I do that, sometimes I don't even need outside validation, or anything.
Like, I feel like ideas come from that. I'll drive to work or I'll drive to class and I'm just like talking to myself, like no music, no anything, or even like a smidget of music in the background or someone talking in the background, but it's just me like I'm interviewing myself.
Right.
And then I solve most of my problems in that little interview process. So it's like, oh, you go, me. Thank you.
But to be real, you're not asking yourself questions. I think that's the Holy Spirit coming in to help you.
For sure.
Definitely. I'm being still in that moment and he just, I like that.
Any other one?
I have a question.
Yep.
It's the love way on Instagram.
There we go.
It's the love way on Instagram.
My question is it's for E. So my question is, do you feel that your unique personality sometimes doesn't allow you space to feel what you feel around others? And if so, does that cause you to isolate at all?
Yes. At times, I feel like, I mean, so I have a group of people around me that know Serious E, but then I have a group of people that only know Goofy E. So the people that know Serious E also know Goofy E as well, but the people that know only Goofy E don't know Serious E at all, and I don't want them to know Serious E. So at times, it's going to be hard for me to go to that group of people because I don't think they take me serious. They need me in that moment to just be the goofy person. You're coming to us with serious stuff. No, we need you to make us laugh and smile. What are you doing? No, whoa, chill, right? So at times it's like, it's hard because what if my serious group is busy with something and I just feel like at this moment, I need, you guys are here right now, but I can't come to y'all because nothing I will say to you would be serious. You'd be like, oh, there's another one of your jokes. Like, am I being punked or something, right? So it's like, but I put that on myself. And I think, again, it's that pride factor and everything that I just need to let everyone around me know, like, there are two sides to me. And if I ever do come to you with this, I am being so serious. Yeah. I'm not even being the goofy me. I need you now.
Yeah.
Right? Smoking Norfolk.
You know what that made me think of?
What?
I was watching a movie the other day, and it was, who was in the movie? I forget who it was, but it was somebody who usually plays goofy roles in movies.
Kevin Hart.
I think it might have actually been him.
It's got to be.
And I can't remember though. But we were watching, and they were trying to be serious, doing something. We were like, we're almost waiting for them to crack a joke because that's what we've assigned to them. And I see that with people around you. They've assigned that to you, and they almost like can't receive that other side of you. So I feel that what you were saying.
Yeah, they'll hit me with the, wait, are you being serious? And I'm like, what in my face made it look like a joke, right? But it's like they've only seen goofy, smiley, like happy, and they've never seen the I'm hurting right now.
Yeah,
I'm not okay. I'm upset. Right? So
it was Marlon Wayans. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's a perfect.
He was in the new Bel Air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did like that series.
Yeah. No. Now we put in that episode. Yeah, like that's how I feel like people see me. Oh, that's a great question. Oh man, like that's how I feel. People like the people that don't really know me.
Yeah.
Right. Like some of my coworkers, like they just, right, they see like the peppy me, right, but they don't know the real me. So it's like they'll see me and they're like, oh, he's got an attitude, or he's got this. Like I've had people come to me and say, because I work with people that actually know me at my job as well. So they'll come to me and say, like, this person's saying this about you because you came in that day looking like this, and I'm like, well, could they come to me and ask me what I'm going through? You know, I go through migraines too. Bad migraines. Blood comes out my ears. Like it's bad. Like my vision gets blurred. It's horrible. So it was one day I took off. The next day I came in, but I'm still feeling the effects. And our job has really bright lights, like crazy bright lights. So I'm still feeling the effects, and I'm like dizzy, and I'm just trying to hold on and be the strong E like that I can be for the kids and everything. But I'm just not feeling it. And we do like this work thing where we're like, I don't know, we're like we do like a PD type of thing where we all celebrate, high five each other, hug and everything. And I'm in the corner like, I'm about to die. Like, I can't get up. Like, you know, some people that know me like come over like, are you good? I'm like, no. But the other people just see me being not the me that they've always seen since I started work. And they assume, oh, he just has an attitude all the time now. And it was one day of me not feeling like me. did you ever come up to me and
ask how I'm doing?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna come up to because I don't like people to think I'm complaining. But then you say, "Oh, he's complaining now, like he's complaining all the time."
Yeah.
Because you're not used to me not doing that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I feel like I need to be more vulnerable and I need to stray away from that pride side because when it finally does come out, it's a brand new thing to everybody. And they have feelings attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want those feelings that they have attached to it because it's always a negative feeling. It's never a positive feeling. You've always seen this picture of me, and now you see a different picture, and now it's foreign to you.
Mm-hmm. That goes to show that that's not your support system. Those are not your people to go to.
Definitely, like, and it hit me bad when those two people that were in my support system came and told me that because it was like, dang, like I was vulnerable to you, like I was trying to like bring you in. Appreciate it though. I was like, that's
noted.
AG.
Bet.
Appreciate you. Like, say less. Say less. I've been moving different now too. Let me not bring work into it. But yeah, I'm different now.
Any other questions? Was that it? You good? All right.
Okay.
So, SOS. I think I gotta wait for us to do it today.
Just Iman does it. Oh. Was that where we were going?
No.
Okay.
Let me pitch my idea.
Someone help me.
Because I know Iman well enough to know he's not going to do it. So what I'm proposing
I'm challenging him.
is that we allow him to give each of us.
Yes, I like that. Let me give this
Fine.
subject. Cool. I like that better.
Rebecca, can you be our stopwatch person today if you don't mind?
Thirsty.
Because I would have been in here like, bidee.
Bahama.
Okay.
I'm like, maybe he'll come through the door soon.
Food.
Okay. There's only one size.
You want to intro this segment?
Didn't you say you wanted to do it? Is that what you just said?
No.
That was your idea.
You like it.
What was the
Your
idea?
idea.
You said?
No, my idea was for E to give us topics. I didn't say anything about introing the segment.
I don't know why. I was thinking about my smoothie. Okay, this part of the this part of our show is called Scripture on the Spot, where we actually gonna do a subject on the spot.
Yeah.
Hold on, pause.
Restart.
I got all jumbled up. Okay. This part of our show is called Subject on the Spot, where we are given a random subject and we do a 1 minute little teaching on it. So Iman's gonna throw some subjects at us and we're gonna just let it flow for a minute, 60 seconds.
Who's going to go first?
I was going to let you choose.
Yeah, you're the tiebreaker here.
Number 3, 1 and 10.
7.
5.
She was closer. 5.
Duh.
That means you have to go.
Dang.
I've never been so happy to lose in my life.
Dang.
All right. So
okay.
that was 3, by the way. But okay.
You gotta do battery change.
Pause. Water time.
Right. Let me drink mine since I don't have a smoothie.
I could give you a preview.
No previews. No previews. On the spot. I hate that noise. Ooh, I felt it. He said, was I spitting?
No, I thought this was like, you know when people
It's not
have
gonna
super
take long.
glue?
It's broke.
Super glue?
You just gotta straighten it and then just put it on there.
Like dried up super glue? That's what it feels. Or wood glue,
Well, nobody.
right?
Is this real wood?
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know if fake
Sounds
wood.
pretty hollow. No, it's real.
It's real.
I can feel it underneath.
No, it is pretty
They just
heavy.
put
They put panels on top
these things on top are only like that thin.
Mm.
They just lay them on top.
of it. Yeah.
Mm. I want to build something.
Like what?
Well, Tay got a bookshelf that needs to be. I'm not doing it. I'm tired.
I want to build a tiny home.
A tiny home?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a tiny home.
What do you mean by tiny home? Like one of those
Miniature house, like 500 square
like
feet.
a shed type roof?
Not that small. Like 500.
No, but like so. Habitat for Humanity. Did you ever go to that in Richmond? It was like right across the street from Shackle Bottom.
That's the mall, right?
Yeah, and so
I'm thinking about Short Pump.
Yeah, you're thinking about Short Pump. But Shackle Bottom had this place, Habitat for Humanity, and it was like restore. So they sold like old doors and toilets.
We had one of those.
Yeah. So, because I was trying to get in my fraternity thing, that's where I volunteered. I volunteered in other places, but they wanted like real documentation in hours. So I had to find a place, and so like I did Habitat for Humanity. We was like selling doors. We was part of the destructive team first, but then I like walked in one day and like I saw a lady struggling with the door, so I helped her with the door, and she said, "Yeah, we're building a house," and I was like, "Ooh, that's cool. I want to build a house, but I don't have like background or knowledge on how to build a house." They're like, "We don't either. We're just gonna." I was like,
"We're just gonna wing it."
Excuse me. So me and my potential frat brothers ended up helping them build that house, and it was just like a small, tiny. Tiny shed type of.
Would y'all be?
It had rooms in it.
Would y'all be up to do something like that this summer?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could do like a CCP project.
But actually build my house because
my
bucket list get a house.
You got land?
I turned 30 in May.
If you got land,
I don't know.
Let's get it.
We can make some.
I can help you
make some land.
Clear some space. You know,
that's illegal to the
government.
No,
for real, we can build something. I can lead it. That's what I used to do.
Really, a tiny home.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, y'all, this is where we have community. If you guys know of any land that needs a tiny home, I need all resources. So put them in the comments if you know where to get land. That's kind of local to the DMV area.
Also, if you want a fence installed at your house, I'm a master fenceman. But it's going to cost you.
If you need something that needs to be broken down, I'm a human wrecking ball.
My gosh.
I like running through drywall.
No.
Don't do that.
Shameless plugs. With that one was shameful. Don't do that.
All right. We good, Julia? All right.
Okay.
We recording again? Bet.
All right. So, Iman, give us a topic for our subject on the spot. I guess I go first.
You're first. All right. A smoothie that is spilled.
Oh, dang, my heart. Why you do that? Spilled smoothie. 1 second. Spilled smoothie. All right, fine. Ready? Okay. So, you be craving a smoothie, like tropical smoothie. You want a Bahama Mama. And you finally get it. And it's beautifully packaged. It has a little receipt that's stuck on the side. And you take that first sip. But you would take a step off of the curb and it spills all over the ground. You get disappointed. It's not actually the end of the world, although it may seem like it's the end of the world because you was anticipating this smoothie for so long, for so bad, and you didn't even get that first taste. So sometimes that's how things and opportunities happen in our life when we feel like we were robbed of these things that we have been desiring for so long, and when we don't get it, we feel a disappointment. But what we don't realize is that we are still outside of the tropical smoothie and we can go in and get another one. Same thing with God. He can always restore us and bring new opportunities that's even better. And they said, actually, we had a Bahama Mama on a delivery order that they never came and pick it up. So we're actually going to give this to you right now. You get it sooner than you even expected. And it's even better because you didn't pay for that one.
Okay. I didn't know how you was going to spin that one, but I like it.
Ooh.
Okay.
She turned into the smoothie king real quick.
Yeah.
Smoothie queen. Sorry.
I'll say.
All right. Let's see. Calvin. A subject. All right.
I'm your brother. Remember that.
Go hard. Don't be easy.
Favorite team loses the championship.
Dang. Dang. Is that the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I just said favorite team. I didn't.
Just to make it better. Just to
The
make
Super
it
Bowl
better.
will be over by the time this airs.
POV. The Eagles.
Favorite team loses.
Eagles.
Super Bowl.
Just look. I didn't.
Oh. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. In life, sometimes you will go through things where you spend hours upon hours preparing, practicing, going over the plays, going over your script. You got everything right, everything in place. You got your clothes laid out. You looking good. You feeling good. You have gone through such a journey to get to the big game. And then you get there and you go out on the field and you put everything you have into it only to lose. And at first, it's bitter because you have to walk off the field and you have to realize that you just went through a whole season just to get to the end and lose. But oftentimes, God puts us precisely in those positions because there's an important lesson in the loss. And you get more out of the loss than you would have actually got if you would have won the game. Mm-hmm. So it feels bad, but give it a little bit of time and you'll know why you actually lost.
Wow.
So sit in it. Okay. Yeah. I like that. See, I could never get to that level. So I'm just be the person picking the subjects.
You could do it.
We don't even know what we're about to say until we start.
Actually, exclusive offer. We actually have a subject for you today. So now's your time to be stretched. Okay, I got.
Give us 30 seconds at least.
I think 30 seconds is harder.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like 1 minute I have to like suck it down to 1 minute. Like
put in my best passive voice. It's gonna be a lot of nonsense.
Okay.
Go ahead. Give me a subject. This is gonna be horrible. If it's bad, we cut it out.
Well,
I got one for you. This is not a subject though. Kind of.
Wait, you say the first word of yours. I'll say the first word of mine, and then he has to go.
I don't like this.
Nah, mine was a phrase though. I can't just say that. It won't make sense.
I don't like this.
How about I start it and you just add something to it?
Okay.
Whatever.
Keep it short though.
Okay. A comedian goes on stage,
but forgets all of his skits.
Okay. This is about to be horrible.
Thrive. You better thrive.
Ready. All right. So sometimes, you are prepared for the big stage, right? You have all your jokes. You have all your material, right? And then you get on stage and you look out into the bright lights and you look at the fans and everything just goes blank, right? Everything just goes blank. What do you do in that situation, right? I don't know, because that just happened to me.
Save it.
Look, just go back out and come back in. Try your best. Make somebody laugh. Tell them about the experiences you just had. They might laugh at that. Yeah. I'm horrible at this. I told you. I don't think you guys understand.
That was amazing.
This is bad.
How far did he make it? Was that a minute?
17 seconds. That's what I'm saying. That's better than 5. It's better than 5.
This is horrible. I can't do that.
Do not claim that energy for yourself. Speak life. Speak life.
They didn't give me time to practice.
That's the point.
Yeah, we don't either.
On the spot.
All right, season 2, epi 5 done.
Yes. Y'all, make sure if you like us, please support us. Leave some comments in the comments.
Please. Yeah, for sure.
Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok.
Yeah. YouTube, go hit that subscribe button so you know when our stuff drops.
Yeah, share it. Share it with somebody you think could be blessed from this conversation.
And check this out on Instagram, all right? Throughout the week, we'll have a little question box in our stories. Please feel free to ask us questions.
And we will answer your questions on the podcast.
Reach.
We'll see you guys next time.
You guys, if you like our content, please let us know by liking and subscribing. Also, please leave us some comments in the comment section.
Yeah, go subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and YouTube, which I said already.
Yes, all those
still
things.
Do it.
Still do that.
Yep.
And also, if you'd like to activate your faith a little bit stronger, we got a community group for y'all on Facebook. And in that Facebook group, this is what we'll be doing.
Yeah, it's going to be all of our crew members. You're going to hear devotionals, worship songs. You're going to hear testimonies. Go in there and connect with the community.
Yes, most importantly, we got community, so you never feel like you're alone. That's it. We love you guys. We'll see you next episode.